The Ouse Valley Viaduct, or the Balcombe Viaduct, carries the London-Brighton Railway Line over the River Ouse in Sussex. It is located to the north of Haywards Heath and the south of Balcombe. Known for its ornate design, the structure has been described as probably the most elegant viaduct in Britain. Construction of the Ouse Valley Viaduct commenced by the London and Brighton Railway Company in 1839. It was designed by the principal engineer for the line, John Urpeth Rastrick, in association with the architect of the London-to-Brighton Railway, David Mocatta. The viaduct is 96 feet high and is carried on 37 semicircular arches, each of 30 feet, surmounted by balustrades, spanning a total length of 1,480 feet. Each pier contains a jack arch with a semicircular soffit, which had the benefit of reducing the number of bricks required. The roughly 11 million bricks required for its construction were mostly shipped up the River Ouse via Newhaven and Lewes from the Netherlands. On July 12, 1841, the viaduct was officially opened to train services, although the structure was not fully completed until the following year. Despite the structure's fine design, materials, and architectural features, the viaduct has had an expensive and problematic history. The first major restoration work occurred during the 1890s, during which sections of the original brickwork were entirely replaced in the belief that this would increase the structure's strength. However, the viaduct suffered considerable decay during the majority of the 20th century. By May 1983, the viaduct had been recognized as a Grade II * listed structure. Between March 1996 and September 1999, the viaduct was subject to an extensive restoration by national rail infrastructure owner Railtrack. This work was part funded by the Railway Heritage Trust, English Heritage, and West Sussex County Council. Construction. In July 1837, an Act of Parliament was passed which gave the London and Brighton Railway Company assent to construct its proposed railway line between London and the south coast. The route selected, which was surveyed by a team headed by Sir John Rennie, was fairly direct, but had the downside of crossing over some relatively hilly terrain. As a consequence of a decision to limit gradients along the line to 1 in 264, the construction of a total of 4 tunnels and a single viaduct, the latter crossing the Ouse Valley between Balcombe and Haywards Heath in West Sussex, was necessary. The arched vaulting supporting brick piers. Construction of the new line commenced in July 1838. Work to build the ornate viaduct began during the following year. It was designed by the principal engineer for the line, John Urpeth Rastrick, in association with the architect of the London-to-Brighton Railway, David Mocatta. The contractor appointed for its construction was Benjamin Bayliss. The total cost of the viaduct's construction reportedly came to £38,500, equivalent to £3.72 million in 2021. The viaduct was designed as a relatively elegant structure, being around 1,600 feet in length and carrying a straight line over 37 identical arches. Each of these semicircular arches had a span of 30 feet and was supported upon tapered red brick piers. Each pier was almost divided into 2 separate halves by 9.8-foot vertical voids, capped by semicircular rings at the top and base, as a weight-saving measure. This approach is credited with giving the structure a relatively slender appearance. The foundation of each pier is provided with 2 courses of inclined footings, which have a total depth of just over 3 feet 3 inches. The viaduct is predominantly composed of traditional red bricks and smooth limestone. The contrast between the 2 materials effectively highlights the deck and upper elements of the structure, although the limestone has been subjected to considerable weathering and staining since its original installation. The brickwork and the limestone elements have been replaced over time to maintain the structure's integrity, extend its operational life, and restore its appearance to better resemble its original state. At its highest point, the Ouse Valley Viaduct is 96 feet above the river beneath